Almost every so-called conspiracy of the past 10 years seems to be proven true the more we dig into the Epstein files. Tonight, we're taking a look at the issue of Ukrainian biolabs, labs that we were told repeatedly over the past few years did not exist. They were nothing more than a Russia-funded conspiracy theory. For years, anyone who questioned government-connected biological research, biolabs, throughout Ukraine, studying viruses or diseases, or research into underground genetics projects, was brushed off as a crazy person. See, I was one of those people. Here's part of some of those reports from 4 years ago.
New and exclusive information about the Ukraine biolab story that some media and politicians are still pretending don't exist. And now we have brand new information you're not going to see anywhere else because it's being scrubbed from the internet. Not only do we have new insight into what was inside of those labs, but also new information about the people working there, being given diplomatic immunity. And not only that, but that people living around some of those labs over the past decade have become sick with cholera and even swine flu. Plus, do these labs have anything to do with the overthrow of the Ukrainian government in 2014? When he was a Burisma executive and his father was vice president, Hunter Biden's company, Rosemont Seneca, invested $500,000 into a San Francisco-based pathogen research company called Metabiota. I was actually one of the first reporters in the country to tell this story back in 2021. Hunter Biden introduced Metabiota to Burisma officials to negotiate the establishment of biolabs in Ukraine. During this time, Metabiota also received $24 million in funding from the Department of Defense, which included money for Ukrainian research projects. Although the U.S. government and its cheerleaders in the media screamed that the existence of U.S. biolabs in Ukraine were a Russian fabrication and conspiracy theories, the Pentagon and other U.S. government officials later admitted to the fact that 46 peaceful Ukrainian laboratories exist in the country.
Tonight, the Epstein emails are once again proving that things that we had previously been told were conspiracies were not. They were happening. And once again, they were worse than we had previously thought. So much worse. Look at this. Emails show Epstein was heavily involved in Ukrainian biolabs, discussing do-it-yourself genetic experiments, including embryo implantation, sperm modification, and so-called biohacking with scientists. Now, consider what we're seeing here. These experiments include sperm modification? Like, modified to do what? We don't know. What was Epstein and his donors trying to create? See, there's another email that gives us maybe some insight into that. These detail plans for a proposed designer baby project, outlining funding needs and development strategies. The goal here, according to the email, to move from small-scale garage biology to the first live birth of a genetically designed human, or even a human clone, within just 5 years. Again, why is this happening? And specifically, why was it happening in Ukraine? Well, actually, that part's easy, because this kind of research is inhumane, it is unethical, and most importantly, it's illegal in the United States and most Western countries, which is why all of this was happening in special places like Ukraine, where this could happen, but it was also happening under a huge cloud of secrecy, which is why another email explains the need for secrecy. Read this one. Emails discuss whether financial backers would only participate if they were guaranteed that they could remain totally anonymous, fearing public exposure and massive reputational damage. So, now the question. Was Epstein simply running a criminal pedophile network? Clearly not. He was also pursuing radical human genetic experiments with global implications. And if these projects were real, and they certainly were, where would they happen? Remember this statement under oath 4 years ago from then Undersecretary of State Victoria Nuland.
Does Ukraine have chemical or biological weapons?
Ukraine has biological research facilities, which, in fact, we are now quite concerned Russian troops, Russian forces may be seeking. This classic Russian technique to blame on the other guy what they're planning to do themselves.
Again, at that time, questions about secret biolab activity were quickly dismissed as Russian disinformation. But now, in the light of Epstein's documented interest in genetic experimentation and his clear use of biolabs in Ukraine to carry it out, this is not a conspiracy anymore.